Harlem by Langston Hughes, 1901 to 1967. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Or does it explode? Okay, this is a poem by Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes was a black American born in Missouri. He was a leading campaigner for equal rights for African Americans, and he was a leading member of the Harlem Renaissance. Now, I think this poem was written about 1950. Now, Langston Hughes lived in Harlem in the 1920s and the 1930s, and this poem is talking about the dreams of African Americans. It's asking what happens if there is a dream that is delayed. Now, this poem Harlem is also known as a dream deferred. So deferred, delayed. You've got a dream. There's something that you want very strongly, and I think perhaps this poem itself influenced Martin Luther King's speech, "I have a dream. I have a dream." And this poem is talking about what happens if you keep suppressing people, you keep them down, you continue with the social injustice that was present in the United States, and it still is present to a degree, although the degree is decreasing and has decreased radically. So what happens if you delay a dream, if you make people wait? How long can you make people wait? How long can African Americans be made to wait for social justice, for their identity to be recognized? Now, Langston Hughes was part of the Harlem Renaissance. This is in the 1920s and 1930s, and this was the first time that black people were allowed to shine for their artistic qualities, for their intellect, for the qualities that they had, and they were no longer just servants. So, let's see. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Yeah, does it just dry up and stay there, become inert? Or fester like a sore and then run? So, does it rot like a sore? Does it produce pus and then begin to run? That liquid comes out of it. So is it something that steadily or slowly makes people suffer? And this is he's talking about the reaction of people. Do people just forget about the dream of equality? It dries up like a raisin in the sun. Or does it fester like a sore? Does it rot like or does it go bad like a sore and then begin to have pus? Does it stink like rotten meat? Is it something that goes bad, that the dream goes bad and is no longer valid, and it's something that smells bad from the past? Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet. Or you've seen something, a sweet liquid that gets this crust of sugar. Does it get covered in this crystallized sugar? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. If you put a heavy load on a table or on something, eventually it sags downwards. Or does it explode? Or will there be an explosion of violence? Will there be an explosion where people can no longer be patient? They can no longer wait for their dream, which has been deferred and deferred and deferred. That true equality is something that has been deferred. Yet, yes, Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery, but still there is no social justice, that black Americans are not allowed to take their rightful place in society, to be their rightful selves, to have the same rights as everyone else. And I think that this is the idea of it. It's talking about the dreams. What happens if you just keep waiting and waiting and waiting and putting it off and putting it off? And when will equality come? And what will people do if you just keep deferring it and keep deferring it? So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Harlem by Langston Hughes.